I'm Julia Davis, a film major who stumbled into the business world with no experience in 2006. I was able to fail enough to learn how to run a seven-figure business and have provided consulting services to over 200 individually owned companies. Through this podcast, I hope to provide some perspective on the growth and grit it takes to accomplish big goals and share some hard lessons I've had to learn along the way. Thanks so much for hopping on the Growth and Grit podcast. My name is Julia Davis, and my purpose of this podcast is to give you a tip or a tool to help you run your business better. And today I'm going to be talking about the time management quadrant. So if you love this topic or you think one of your friends needs to hear it, hit subscribe, send it to them in a text or an email, and help them change the way they look at time management. Something that all people and businesses struggle with is how to manage time. What is a priority? What is not a priority? How am I going to manage this situation? How am I going to tackle this problem? Time is something that people struggle with forever. And when I learned this tip and tool, it really helped me be able to categorize tasks and figure out what needs to be done first, what I should plan, what I can delegate, and then what I can just totally eliminate from my schedule. So I'm going to break this down into 4 different stages. And you can find this stuff online or shoot me a message in a DM, and I'm happy to go over it with you. You can also get a link on my Instagram page, which is julia.bizstories, and click on the link in my bio to schedule a one-on-one consult with me where I can break down your specific business and help you do this and implement this particular tool. But today, I'm going to break it down, just kind of an overview of time management. So I'm going to pull up a little bit of a grid here so that you can look at it. But if you want to draw this out, the top of the grid, or what you're looking at on the first left-hand side, is the word important. And then the top is urgent. And then there's a not urgent category and a not important category. So in this first quadrant right here, in this first section, it's something that you want to think about and do first. So if you have something that's urgent and important, this is like a crisis. This is somebody crying. This is your kitchen is on fire. This is something that needs to happen right now. So it's an urgent problem that needs to be handled immediately, because if it doesn't get handled, it's only going to get worse. So I would say something in this urgent and important category is, like a crying baby, or in business terms, this would be an employee's knocking on your door, holding their paycheck, and they need to have a conversation, or somebody is doing something that could potentially hurt a client, or there's a problem with something that if it's not going to be fixed right in the moment, it's going to create a much bigger issue. So any crisis, and you guys know what that is. A crisis is something that gives you maybe a little bit of a stomach ache, where when it happens, you're like, gosh, I know I need to handle this right away. Or it's a phone call that you're getting from a major client that you have to answer because you know that if you don't, you could miss a key point that you really need to know. So urgent and important category, these are the things that you have to do first. The not urgent but important are things that you can put on a to-do list. These are a planned thing. So for example, meetups with people that you want to connect with, or calling people back. So in the time that I ran a business, and even now, I'll create a running list of to-dos of things that I need to do later. It might not be something I need to do in the moment, but it's something that has to get done usually before the end of the day or the end of the week. And this is a running list. So this is, hey, make sure I schedule this. I send this email. I follow up with this person. People typically don't write stuff down, and that's how things get missed. So in the not urgent and important, this is all the stuff you need to list out and get done eventually, but maybe not in the immediate moment. So the urgent is obvious, get it done immediately. It has to get done. The plan and the schedule, this is something that takes a little bit of time to plan out, to organize, like grocery shopping, or maybe not even that. It might be like, hey, call this person back, send this email, submit payroll by Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Whatever has to get done for the week, but doesn't have to get done in that very moment. The not important and urgent things are things that you need to delegate. So when you're making this list in that third quadrant down there, these are things that need to get done, but they don't have to be done by you. So for example, if you're spending a lot of time sending out invoices, but somebody else can do it for you, Or if you have meetings that you can delegate to other people because they're just as capable as you are in handling that. Or if there's an activity that can be delegated, like for example, if you're very, very busy, you can delegate grocery delivery, you can delegate house cleaning, you can delegate, all of that stuff, and it buys you back your time. So you got to think about like what is making me money and what is not making me money, but costing me time. And that can go in this quadrant, and you can figure out what needs to be delegated. And again, this is personal to you. So if you need help with this, you can set up a call with me. I'll go through your schedule and we can really crack down on this time management quadrant with you. And then the last thing are the time wasters. So these are things that you should just eliminate entirely. Things that just don't bring you any joy, they don't bring you any monetary value, they don't bring you any necessity. It's not like, you have to clean at some point, but you can delegate that task, but not cleaning ever would be a problem, right? So time wasters would just be things that you get caught up with doing that are not productive or helpful to your mentality. Like maybe it's, um, I don't know, like doing something that you're like, I really don't like to do this, like going out every Thursday night and drinking for 3 hours. Like that might be something you can eliminate from your day or your week. Or it's like gambling or, something that might be a habit that you want to kick that you shouldn't do. These are things that are like time wasters, like things that don't bring you any type of value in your life. And if you're like, well, that does bring me value going out on a Thursday night and doing that because I'm networking. Okay, well, maybe, but maybe you want to look at different ways to do that to make it move into a different category. So these are things that just burn up time. It's like scrolling on your phone, right? Scrolling on your phone, looking at social media 2 hours a day. If you don't know what this is, go into your phone, check your screen time, look at where you're spending your time. There is usually a huge microscope on your time waster on your cell phone. So take a peek at that and you will see where you're burning minutes and you can eliminate that. So what I would recommend doing is writing out the 4 quadrants on a piece of paper. Just do a little, you know, line down, line across. You can write urgent, important, not important, and then list out your activities every day. And if you do this as an exercise and you create a worksheet for yourself, you're going to figure out what needs to be done right away, what you can schedule in the future, what you could potentially delegate that you don't even have to do, and then what you just shouldn't be doing at all. And again, if you need help with this, I'm happy to help you. I can figure out with you. We can crack the code on your time management specifically. But if you feel like, man, these days are just flying by and I have no idea where the time went, it probably means you're mismanaging time in some way. So I would highly recommend that you do this, that you look at those quadrants, that you figure out what goes into each one. And then as things are coming into your day, you'll be able to eventually categorize them on the spot. So if somebody says, "Hey, can you do this?" You'll know what category it should go in. Should it go in the delegate? Should it go in the planning for the future? Do I need to handle it right now? Or is this something I don't need to do at all? And your brain will start to function in that way if you can keep track of this over time. So I hope this quick tip helped you. If you need additional help, feel free to reach out on my Instagram page at julia.bizstories. Click subscribe and send this to a friend that you know needs help with time management. And we'll talk to you guys next week. Thanks for being on.
Every week on the Growth and Grit podcast, we bring you real stories and practical tools to help you thrive through challenges. If this resonates with you, make sure you subscribe, follow, and share this podcast with someone who could use it too. It only takes a second, but it would mean the world to us, and it keeps you plugged in to fresh inspiration.